What are they? How do they work? And how do they affect our lives today?
Chariot races were a deadly competition that the Romans held in the Circus Maximus. 2 men would be in a chariot and would go around the arena 7 times. One would be driving and the other would be fighting. If the men got killed, it was no big deal, because it happened so often. Gaius Appius Diocles was a famous competitor, winning over 4,000 games and coming in second over 4,000 times too. And a fun fact is that the races were always ran counterclockwise. Originally, there were 4 teams. These were the blue, the red, the green, and the white. Later, they added on the purple and the gold teams. Every team represented something, such as the red team represented the summer, the blue team represented autumn, white was winter, and green was spring. Also, cursed tablets were made to scare the other teams away. The Roman chariots were designed solely for speed, not safety. There were 2 to 10 horses driving each chariot. 2 horses was called a biga, 3 horses was called a triga, and 4 horses was called a quadriga. It was highly unlikely to have a chariot with 5 to 10 horses on it. The Circus Maximus was an enormous stadium dedicated to the chariot races, seating 250,000 people. There were statues in the middle of the arena, letting people know how many laps they had gone around, such as the dolphin, sacred to Neptune, and eggs, sacred to Castor and Pollux.
Okay.
Did you know that in the Roman days, the canal in the Circus Maximus, where they had the chariot races, actually represented something? It represented the sea. And the obelisk on the island, it represented the sun. And did you even know that the track represented something? It was the earth. And then, guess what? That big ball of fire up there? It's called fire corn. Did you know that? And I'm the good turkey. Any charioteer or horse who had won over 1,000 games was called malarius. Most charioteers began their work as slaves, forced into the position by their masters, just so that they could have sport. The drivers would wrap the reins around their hands and ride so that they'd have better control over the horses. Therefore, if they got knocked over, they would still be attached to the reins and would be dragged to death. When this happened, the crowd loved it and they started yelling naufragium, which also meant shipwreck. The chariot races almost led to the overthrow of Justinian in January of 532 AD. The supporters of the blue and green teams got really mad when their players were imprisoned, and so they laid siege on the imperial palace. Half of the city was burned down, and tens of thousands of people were killed. This episode brought to you by BEE,
A family company
somehow
related
to
Barbie and Ken. My beautiful babies.
Just no. What are chariot races?
Well, chariot races were a deadly race on chariots.
Yeah. And how do they work?
Teams of different colors go head to head as you race 7 times around the track.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Oh,
And-
Kelly, this is a family-friendly video.
Oh, okay.
And how do they affect our lives today?
Time repeats itself. Have a good weekend, everyone. And back to you, Josh.